Hello everyone. In today's session, I'm going to talk about profit and gains from business or profession. So let's move on to the topic, that is profits and gains from business and professions. So in income tax, we have five main sources of income while calculation of total income and also gross total income. Now, what are the five sources of income? So we will be having like the first one, income from salary. Second head, income from house property. Third head, income from business or profession. Fourth head, income from capital gain. And last head, we have income from other sources. So if we are taking a aggregate or summative of all five heads of incomes together, we will be finding out the gross profit. Once gross profit is we are arrived with, then we have to go for the deductions under section ADC to ATU. And finally, we will be arriving with a total income or net income. So that is what the flow of five heads of incomes which we will be having in case of income tax while calculation of our gross total income. So in that, out of five heads of income, so I'll be discussing about the third head of income, that is profits and gains from business or profession. So let's move on to the topic, that is a meaning and definition of business. So what do you mean by business? So business will include any kind of economic activities carried on by an individual for earning profits. So definition of business as per the section 2 subsection 3 has defined the term as any trade, commerce, manufacturing activity or any adventure or concern in the nature of trade, commerce and manufacture. So another meaning of a business, it is a connection. It is not necessary that there should be a series of transactions in a business. Also, it should be like carried on permanently. So as an SSC, if you're having a income from business, so as a businessman or the profession, they have to be calculated with a profit from business as well as a profit from professions. So let's move on to the profession meaning. The meaning of profession. Now, some of the activities involves use of professionally, intellectual and technical skills. So definition of profession as per the section 2 subsection 36 of Income Tax Act, profession will include the occasion. So profession involves the use of intellectual or manual skill to earn on livelihood. For instance, an auditor carrying on his practice, the lawyer or a doctor or a painter or an actor or an architect or an sculptor would be a person carrying on a profession and not a business. So we'll know what you mean by occasion. So occasion implies meaning a way of living for which one has special fitness. A vocation does not involve any organized or systematic activity like business. So occasion simplifies meaning any type of activity which a person is passionate about the process from an inner calling or urge. The practice of regional may also amount to occasion. Writing of article in a magazine is also known as occasion. So let's move on to the differentiate between business and profession. So while calculating of your total income, so as an individual or the manufacturer of a particular product, they will be followed with a standardized format while calculation of total income, as in same in case of your profession. So profession may be like a CA or a doctor or a lawyer. They will be having again standardized format while preparation of their taxable income from their particular heads of income, that may be business or maybe the profession. Now, they are some of the differentiate between business versus the profession. So, we'll go the point wise now. The first point under the business will include the trade, manufacture, and the commerce. Profession will include the professional, intellectual, and technical skills. So, next differentiate between the profession versus the business. The businessman or the manufacturer, they will be receiving a profit as well as the gain. But in case of a profession, the doctor or the lawyer or the medical practitioner, they may receive the profit that is in the terms of fee. The next differences between the profession and also the business. In case of business, no minimum required qualification are required. As a manufacturer or the business person, they don't have like standardized qualification should be fulfilled. But in case of profession, required professional qualification and special knowledge is required. See the next differentiate. In case of business, they may involve the tangible goods and services. But in case of the profession, it may involve intangible services. So some of the services in case of doctor or lawyer or the CA, what kind of services which they're providing, that services may be intangible in its nature. The next differentiate, it's like no prescribed code of conduct is required for the delivery of the business. In case of business, a special code of conduct is not required. There is no mandatory to be follow the code of conduct in case of a business. But in case of profession, it will be prescribed. A code of conduct is required for the delivery of the professions. The next differentiate between the business or profession are objectives is earned profit and livelihood and the satisfaction. But in case of profession, the objective is like to earn the livelihood, passion, and satisfaction. So these are the some of the differentiate between business versus the profession. Now let's move on to the meaning of profit. Now, what do you mean by profit in case of your business as well as the profession? The profit means will includes a profit is cash or in kind. The profit may be raised in the money or money worth, that is in cash or in kind, where profit is realized is any form other than the cash or cash equivalent of the receipt on the date of the receipt must be taken as value of income received in kind. Next point, capital receipt. Capital receipts are not generally to be taken into the account. Voluntary receipt, payment voluntarily made by the person who were under no obligations to pay any time, but all would be included in the hands of recipient if they were received in the course of business or by exercise of a profession or occasion. Now, applications to gain of trade is immaterial. The gains made, the profit which we made, even for the benefit of the community by the public body, would be liable to pay the tax. So next meaning of profit, it's like legality of income. The legality of income, profession, or occasion does not exempt its profit from tax. The revenue is not concerned with the trade of illegality, is the income or its sources. Another meaning, income from distant businesses. The profit of each distant businesses must be computed separately, but the tax chargeability under this section is not an separate income of every distant business, but an aggregate profit of all the business carried on by the assessee will be termed as a profit, will also be considered while calculation of taxable income from business. Another meaning, computation of profit. Profit should be computed after deducting the losses and expenses incurred, earned in the business in the regular course of the business, profession, or occasion, unless the losses or expenses is expressively or by necessarily implications disallowed by the act. The charges is not an gross receipt, but on the profit and the gains. So all this will gives like the meaning of the profit while calculation of taxable income from profession and also the business. But while calculation of taxable income from business, we will be having a standardized format will be used to check either the expenses or the income which is admissibly or expressively allowed for the business. That income as well as expenses will be taken into consideration while calculation of taxable income from business as well as the profession. So here ends in this session, I just focused on the profit meaning. So next session, I will be like focusing on the format, how to calculate taxable income from business and also for the profession. So see you all in the next class. Thank you.